For this effect, I can give the deck a little shuffle, and then I will have the participant select any card they would like. So let's say as I spread through here, the spectator takes out this card. I don't want to see the card, but I will show it to you. Go ahead and remember this. After the participant has remembered their card, I could place it about middle right there, give or take. So now you might have noticed I have two cards right here. These two cards are my helper cards. In this case, the two red kings. I'm going to take the first king, the heart. I'm going to place him somewhere near the bottom of the deck. You can see there. The next king, the diamond, is going to be placed somewhere near the top of the deck. So really they have a bunch of cards in between them. The participant could push both kings in, and now we're set. So we're going to go down to those two kings here, but we're going to get rid of the cards on top and below. So there's a good chance your card could be in between the two kings, or they could be either at the top or bottom of the two kings. Finally, for the kings to find your card, all we have to do is give these one cut, and now, if I spread through, we're going to get rid of the cards on top, and if we get rid of the cards on the bottom right here, we're going to see, oh, in this case, we have three cards. For the first time, I would have the spectator name their card out loud. Let's say they do that right now. And this is the 9 of hearts. I hope that was your card, but that's not all. You might be wondering, what are these other two cards here? Well, not only can the kings find your card, they can also find the other kings as well. That is the effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, make sure to stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into this effect, really quick, I just want to go over the available decks for the next deck review. So, in this case, we have Day of the Dead. And if you're new here, usually after Christmas, I receive a few decks of cards for Christmas, and then I will do one deck review a week, but I will let you guys vote on what deck I review. This is World War II movie covers and movie posters. We have X-Men. We have Thor. And we have this deck. I'm not too sure of the name, actually. And those are the available decks up for review. So getting into this effect, the cards I'm using are the Bicycle Zero Gravity. I have a deck review on these. I will leave that in the description. So, for this effect, there is a setup, but at the end, I will show you a couple of ways you can go about this without a setup. So, you're going to start off by taking out any four of a kind. Let's say the four kings. It really doesn't matter. Take two of the same color, in this case clubs and spades, put those on top of the deck. Take the other two colors, reds, hearts and diamonds, leave those to the side. That is your setup. Starting off the effect, you can do any false shuffles and or cuts you would like. Just keep the two kings on top. I will leave a link in the description for some false cuts and shuffles. After you've done those, you're going to have a card selected. You don't want one of the two kings. So what I did was I just pushed off a block of cards and I spread out the rest of the deck. If your spectator doesn't like that, you could have them cut to a card. If they don't like that option, you could dribble the cards. I will leave a link for the dribble. And finally, you could do a one-hand fan. I'll leave a link for the one-hand fan. So there are a few ways to get around this. You just don't want one of the top two cards selected. So let's say we take out this card. Now it's up to you if you want the card signed, in this case the 5 of diamonds, but you're going to turn around because you don't want to see the card, and you're going to catch a break under the top card. So you could riffle up one card, put your pinky in, and catch a break that way. You could even pinky count, which I will leave a link for. You could even push off the card, put your pinky in, put it back on, and you're set. You want to control this card second from the top underneath the two kings. So what I did was the Marlowe tilt, which I will link in the description, but you could also do this with the bluff pass. It really doesn't matter. So once you get their card second, you're gonna direct their focus to these two cards, and you're gonna have the participant turn these cards over because you're going to swing cut. I will leave a link for the swing cut down below. About 10 to 15 cards, put your pinky in and catch a break. Now, it was hard to do this on video, so when I went off the camera, what I did was I lifted up about 10 to 15, I did a one-handed cut, and before I closed it, I put my pinky in, and then I closed it. If you don't know how to do the one-hand cut, link in the description. So once you have your break, you're all set. You take one of the kings face up, and you're going to put it right in this break. But you say, okay, I'm going to put this first king somewhere near the bottom of the deck. And it's just going to go right in that break there. You can let go of the break, and you're all set. Take the next king and say, okay, I'm going to put it somewhere near the top. And that's really what you're going to do. You can turn this around, show it to the spectators, and have them push the two kings in. Now you say, okay, there's a good chance your card might be either on top of the kings, below the kings, or in between the kings. Let's check in between the kings. So you're going to spread until you see that first helper card. Take all the cards on top and drop them. Here's when the move comes in. You're going to spread down until you see that last king. You're going to spread 3 more cards, so 3 face down cards after that, because this is your setup. So you spread down to that last king, 3 cards. I put my middle finger on that king. I lift up. I put my pinky in. I square up everything. I come over into a thumb break and I drop that half. So now you stole the 3 face down cards underneath that king. I like to spread out the middle of the pack, but I don't go too far because I don't want to expose this little mess here. I say, okay, your card might be in here, but in order for the kings to find it, we need to cut them into the pack. So you could either swing cut it, or you could just table cut it. It doesn't matter. And now you're going to spread through to that first king, get rid of the cards on top, spread through to that last king near the bottom. I like to keep the 3 cards in between it a mystery, so that's why I spread to the bottom. I get rid of those bottom cards. I say, okay, let's see how well the kings did. I spread and I see the 3 cards here. Now their card is in the middle, so if you want, you can have them go ahead and say their card out loud and then touch a card. And you could see if they actually take out the middle card. If they say their card and you say take out one, and they take out theirs and they see it's theirs, that's really impressive. But if you feel like they won't do that, or if you don't want to do that, you could say name your card out loud. The 5 of diamonds, I believe. Take out the card in the middle, and it's theirs. And then you could say, you might be wondering what these two cards are here. These are the other 2 kings. And that really is the effect. So let me show you how you could do this impromptu. There are two ways you could go about this. One is more impromptu than the other, but that is harder. So the deck is shuffled, and you're gonna show the cards are all different, and you're going to decide on a pair of face cards to call to the top. So I might not go with the jacks just because it's second from the bottom, but I might go with that first king. I can continue going through. I can show these are all different. I call that second king. And it doesn't matter if the colors aren't in order because there's something you can do to make sure they're in order. Call that third card, and then you can finally call that last king to the top. If it's already on top, that's fine. But now we got those three kings on top. You can pick up the pack like this and say, okay, I'm going to determine I'm going to take out a pair of helper cards really to help us. And if you want, because it might be a little fishy taking the top two cards, you could cut them into the middle, go through, obviously be like this, take out either color you would like, let's say black, leave those face down, and cut these two reds to the top. Turn those over, and now you have the two kings there and the two kings here. Another way you could do this is you could have two kings on the deck you want, and then you could have the other two kings palmed in your hand. So when you give the cards just a little shuffle, just like this, it's actually going to keep the two kings on top, meaning you're going to grab the deck, put the other kings on top as well. You can riffle, it doesn't matter. But now the two kings are on top there. Then you could put those down. And that really is the effect. I hope you like that, and I hope I didn't go through that too fast. But if I did, the original video's in the description. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Vote on which deck you would like to be reviewed next week, and I will see you next time. Bye.